Thank you, Rick, and welcome everyone. We are standing during difficult times right now, looking back at October 7th, which seems like such a long time ago. We thought that by now things would look better and get better, and unfortunately, we're still waiting for that to happen. I'm going to start out by sharing a little bit of what's happening on our side of the world, and then we'll share about some recent things that Macomb has been involved with, and end it with what we're busy doing nowadays. So Macomb, for those of you that want the very simple and basic explanation, is an organization of people. The people that are involved with Macomb are people like you and me, regular, ordinary people that have their day jobs, but they go above and beyond in communities across Israel. We have over 280 communities spread out from Kiryat Shmona to Eilat of people that are devoted to making life better for the people living around us in the different cities. Macomb has over 20,000 of these volunteers that are active and involved, and we range from ultra-Orthodox to completely secular people. We have Ethiopians and Russian speakers and Druze and even Bedouin communities. And these are people that care about society and want to make it better. And we're proud affiliates of JNF-USA because of our joint vision, building a stronger Israel together, the land and the people. And our focus is the people. So that being said, before October 7th, we were busy making life better in so many different ways throughout these cities. And once October 7th broke out, we got even busier. And on an average, we were helping something like 80,000 people on a monthly basis. And just to bring everyone up to speed, these 20,000 volunteers are active in the community in ways that if we try to imagine what that means, it means you come home from your day of work, you roll up your sleeves, and you get to work. So here in front of us, we have the examples of what we've done right before Pesach. Right before Pesach, we were busy delivering food packages to over 20,000 people. Thankfully, there are other organizations as well that do similar things because the needs this year have been extremely high with people being displaced, losing their jobs, and just living in this constant uncertainty. We also heard last week Yedidia. Yedidia talked about the matzahs that were delivered, and I am honored that I had the privilege to be part of that distribution. We delivered 5,500 matzah packages. You see them here in the picture to communities from the Gaza envelope that were evacuated. We ended up in Tiberias, in Jerusalem, even Eilat, in cities all across the country that were hosting and caring for these evacuated communities. And we're very lucky that throughout 22 locations in Israel, we were able to deliver these packages. Moving forward, we organized community seders. What does it mean, a community seder? We actually started 2 years ago when the Ukrainians arrived in Israel right before Passover. We said we want to make this a festive celebration. And this year, with the current situation of people not being at home, not necessarily having where to go, or staying at one of the hotels because there really was no other alternative, we said we are the communities, we are the people in these communities, and we need to embrace everyone. So these are just a few pictures from the 55 community seders that we held across the country with an average of 250 people at each of these community seders. We want to make sure that no one feels left behind, everyone has a place to go, and they're all part of the community. So moving into where things are going and sort of what we're dealing with. We understand that our reality here in Israel is based on what's happening. And for the people that have been evacuated from their homes, this is uncertainty without an end date. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing some beautiful children, and on the next slide as well, some more. What we've decided during the past few months was that we really need to help the children and the teens heal. That those are the spaces that we usually work in the different cities, and we need to make sure that those that either were evacuated or are currently living in a different situation because of the circumstances, we need to provide solutions. And part of our Macomb communities, we have 6 communities of artists, musicians, and art and drama therapists. And what we decided together with them is that we need to find a way to expand these 300 people, that's what they do for their job. We need to find a way for them to reach more people and help those that really need the assistance. So we reached out to professionals in the field and said, who wants to join us? Who wants to be part of this? And from 300 professionals, within a few days, there were over 1,000 professionals that said, I'm willing to give 1 day a week. I'm willing to give 5 hours a week. Whatever it is, different people said, I want to give, I want to help, I want to be part of this doing. And I want to explain to you for a moment what it means, because people say, oh, great, art therapy, music therapy, it's something fun for the kids to do. But using an example of something that I personally came across was one of the hotels that I visited during these months. I met a lot of children, a lot of parents that were frustrated running after their children. And I came to one of the hotels in Tel Aviv, and a mother was speaking to me and told me that they were evacuated from Sderot on the night of after October 7th. And she said, we were leaving town, and I told my kids to duck down because I didn't want them to see what was on the streets. But they're kids and they're curious, and they peeked out of the window and they saw lots of blood and unfortunately dead bodies. But a 7-year-old or a 10-year-old can't process those kind of images. And this mother was telling me how her 11-year-old daughter, Gali, really wasn't functioning since they got to the hotel and wasn't communicating, was kind of off in her own little world, and they just didn't know what to do. And she said to me, it's really sad because I know my daughter needs therapy, but all the therapists are taken. And of course, there are people that are traumatized much more than my own daughter. But what can I do? I'm grateful that that's all my daughter is going through. And thankfully, it's not any worse than that. But that was when we started bringing these therapists into the hotels. And we found that children having the opportunity to express themselves through art, music, and drama, and other ways of expression, these kids started behaving differently. They started communicating better. And this mother was telling me how the first time her daughter participated in one of these sessions, it was a group session with 10 other kids. She came back with this picture that she drew, and she showed her mother and she smiled. And she said, that was the first time since October 7th that I saw my daughter smile. And from there, she slowly started opening up and started talking about regular daily things because she had an outlet to express herself. And that really sort of ties in together the essence of what Macomb does, because Macomb sees a need no matter where we are in the country. And we say, what can we do to respond to that need and resolve it? And at the moment, we're seeing that there are over 20,000 children that are doing all different types of sessions throughout the country. We're all going through this at different levels, but this is a way that we can bring an outlet for children and teens. They can express themselves, that they can feel a little bit better, that even with this whole situation going on, they have some kind of outlet. And of course, if kids are doing better, parents are less stressed, parents have enough they're dealing with right now. But this is how we've responded to these needs. And sort of wrapping things up, it's important to say that when people ask me, so what do you do at Macomb? I said, it really depends what's going on this side of the world. And what we're trying to do is really provide these different solutions across so many different cities in Israel and fine tune these areas that unfortunately, whether it's the government or the local municipalities, they have much higher pressing needs. And this is a way for us to fill that gap and provide what's necessary during these challenging times. I do want to end on a more positive note, though, and say that the support that we have received from all of you and so many others across the US and in Israel too, between the affiliates and reaching out and helping each other and seeing how everyone can do just take things a step further and try a little bit harder and do a little bit more. That's really what's created the difference in how we're feeling here in Israel. And I try myself to get on every single Wednesday just to see all of you because it always lifts my spirit so much when, especially those times that things are a little more difficult on this side of the world, knowing that we have people that have our back, that are supporting us from a distance and care and show up week after week means so much. So on behalf of the people that you are helping, and we are all in this together, I want to thank you for being part of this and part of us. And we're doing what we can together. So thank you.